Apple Valley Mayor Frank Lindhart gave a helping hand to a resident of Cedar Point Tuesday who is living in one of 170 homes dealing with the water crisis, which started last week.
The morning of, the water pressure was really low, and then I got an email from the city.
On Wednesday night, we got a call from a gentleman that lives the highest up, close to the water tank, because he's the first one that runs out. And he said, I have no water. And from there we went and found out that by next morning there was a total of 170 homes in the Cedar Point subdivision that had no water.
That's when the town discovered a 1 million-gallon water tank was empty.
We had just installed a new a manual monitoring device on that 1 million-gallon tank. So when they go and check it every day, it reads it's full, it's full, it's full, but it was faulty. And they checked the wells and the pumps were running, but they didn't pump water.
Apple Valley then reached out to the Washington County Water Conservancy District for help.
And so we were able to get with St. George City, and the Water District were able to respond and bring some water out for some temporary use. So this was brought in just for people to fill up containers for their homes, for feeding to animals, livestock, also for flushing toilets or whatever else they could use.
It's great to have this here. Also the Maxwell Park, being able to get fresh water from there also. Very grateful that it's right here. A few minutes I can fill up, and it really has given me a new sense of how heavy water is and how precious water is and how much it takes to do the things that you don't even think about.
While none of those living in the main part of Apple Valley were affected, residents living in Cedar Point are still asked to conserve water despite the tap coming back on a couple of days ago.
We're asking people to continue to conserve, no outside watering, no watering lawns, no washing cars, short showers, and the water they're getting is non-portable, non-drinkable water, not because it's bad, but every time you change a well, you're manually handling a pipe that goes into the water. We have to have it all tested before we can declare it fully potable water.
We're not boiling because we're using fresh water and have bypassed the city water for a minute to be able to use the hot water tank to still have warm water.
A total of 6 tanks of potable water were brought in on this flatbed trailer from the Sand Hollow Water Treatment Plant, each holding about 280 gallons of water, or around 17,000 gallons. Mayor Lindhart said the residents of this subdivision use about 2 million gallons of water a month.
We have got one of the wells up and running, so we're producing about 50 gallons a minute. But put that in the perspective, if we're supposed to do about 130 to 140 gallons a minute in order to supply the normal water usage.
The water truck that was here has been returned to St. George City already, but we have been asked to leave these here just until the tank gets a high enough level that everything is comfortable with taking them away.
And while they are waiting for the system to replenish, the mayor said they still aren't sure what caused the depletion.
At this point, we really don't know, because at first it looked like an aquifer had lowered because there wasn't water, but we're not sure if it's that or it's a series of mechanical errors that happened.
The local fire truck parked at the site has already been used during the crisis to put out a shed fire.
This was luckily only a shed, and a fire truck had enough water to be able to put it out. Luckily, it hasn't been a structure fire, because to fight a structural fire, we need 60,000 gallons in the tank, and we had nothing.
With a population of just over 900 people, Apple Valley has 3 sources for water. And while it would behoove them to connect the systems for backup, the cost to do that right now is prohibitive.
The old part of Apple Valley, and we have Cedar Point, and then we have Canaan Springs to the east of us that are all part of our water system. And we are working on getting that all tied together, but we need the money.
Mayor Linhart said the ideal solution would be to turn the entire system over to the Washington County Water Conservancy District to operate.
Council is hoping that the state will step up and help us with some money, and the Water Conservancy District will help us and take over and maybe run some of this for us.
But regardless of what happens next, the community has managed to pull together for the sake of those in need.
Kind of a unique opportunity in this case, but it's a good opportunity for the cities and the county to work together.
It's been a community effort of solving the problem, so it's really been a positive event in all this mess.
I've met a lot of my neighbors at the water cooler.
From Cedar Point in Apple Valley, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.